Hi, welcome back to Recycle Creations. This is my submission for the 2016 Sterling Davis Pallet Upcycle Challenge. It was over 90 degrees that day, so I didn't waste any time getting these broke down. I got a great score from a local truck manufacturing company that builds utility boxes. Their pallets are always really long. I came up with a design to use the pallet rails, since most of the time you see these discarded in many pallet projects. It was a little cooler in the shop at 72 degrees to remove the nails. Next, I got busy cutting all the lumber down to nominal lengths, just a little longer than what was needed for each one of the parts. None of the pallets in my score that day had the feet, or the part where the fork goes, so I hunted through my scrap bin and found some from a previous score to use as the feet for this table. Next, I got to work with the joiner and flushed up one face and one edge so that then I could trim down on the table saw and get each of the feet to the same length and height. While I was there, I went ahead and cut off that bit so that it made one long foot blank. Also at the table saw, I went ahead and cut down the corners of my pedestal blank. One of the pallets had these three nice long oak rails, 73 inches or so, and I used those for the top. I had just enough to create a blank to cut the top out of. I had to really pick and choose and keep rearranging the various pieces until I got enough to actually create a good top blank. And here you can see I've got it laid out on the floor, and I put the glass top protector on there and traced it out. Then again, over at the joiner, I went ahead and flattened one face and one edge again. Then over at the table saw, I cleaned up the other edge. Then I got my planer out and surface planed each one of the top pieces and made them all a consistent thickness. While I was at it, I cleaned up each one of the feet as well. I recently got this lathe from another woodworking friend and have been really anxious to try it out on a project. So I took that pallet blank that I glued up earlier for the pedestal and turned it round and then put some designs in it. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of the footage when I didn't realize my camera battery died during the turning process. But it was still fun. That was the first thing I had turned in 30 plus years since I was in high school. Here I attached a square index to the end of my pedestal blank and cut 4 flat spots to attach the legs. Then I just cleaned them up with the chisel. I started out using biscuit joints to glue up the top, and rapidly realized it was so humid that the biscuits were all swollen, making it very hard. So I ditched that idea and just did a traditional butt jointed glue up, and it worked out just fine. This blank wouldn't fit through my planer, so I used my electric hand plane and flattened the top. The belt sander and the palm sander to clean it up and make it nice and smooth. Then laid the glass top back on and traced it out, and then finally over at the bandsaw cut it out outside the line, and then later you'll see I used a disc sander to sand to the line and sneak up on the measurement. Here I'm just cutting out a little template to use to make each one of the table feet consistent. I used it to trace out lines on each one of the feet and cut them out on the bandsaw, and then sanded to the line with the belt sander and the orbital spindle sander. Using my router table and a roundover bit, I cleaned up all the edges. My old Craftsman 100 has a sanding disc attachment. It's basically just a blade with no teeth that you can put 10-inch sand discs on, and it works great. And since it's one of the things that I have dust collection attached to, it does a great job. I cut out a little scrap of plywood and created a flange on the lathe to attach the top and the pedestal. Over at the bench, I cleaned it up a little with the chisel and drilled some holes and attached it all with Gorilla Glue and some screws. I also used Gorilla Glue and pocket hole screws to attach the legs, because what pallet project can be without a few pocket holes? I made some homemade dowels out of the same material as the legs to hide the pocket holes. Then I again used some Gorilla Glue and a few screws to hold the flange and the top together. For pallet wood projects, I like to start out with Minwax Natural Stain. It provides a good base coat, seals everything up, and keeps the other finishes from soaking in as bad. Pallet wood is so inconsistent, this keeps it from causing a blotchy finish if you apply any colored stain. I flood the whole surface of all the parts with this and then just let it dry. It usually takes about an hour. This project was made of mixed species, so on the lighter surfaces I used medium walnut Danish oil, and then the rest of the project I used natural Danish oil to try to even out the surfaces a little bit. Then I finally put on 3 coats of wipe-on poly and sanded between each coat. Here's the finished product outside for some good lighting. Hope you enjoy. I wanted a reclaimed style of this piece, so I didn't bother to fill any of the nail holes, but I did purchase a round glass top protector to provide a nice consistent surface because there's so many holes and defects in the wood. I really enjoyed working on this project. Many thanks to Sterling Davis for sponsoring the Pallet Upcycle Challenge, and I look forward to future challenges. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel. I usually produce about 2 videos a month.